Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire allotment adventures on an evening after heavy rain. We've had two bouts of, well, just water, buckets and buckets of water, but it does make for good clearing of weeds time, believe it or not. I was just sat near the fountain enjoying the running water and clearing the pond pump, and I looked over at where my beetroots are growing under a frame, and it's littered with weeds, and so we need to get them out. And I've got a little bucket here, and already it's full of weeds and long roots on them, so you have to be really careful, you have to dig deep. And so I've got my trusty two, in fact, pegs that we use for the camping, and they work really well. You can get really deep and into them because you want to get rid of all the weeds, otherwise. And they grow so close to the beetroots, it's unbelievable. In fact, this weed here has gone straight up through the middle of it, and if we're not careful, then the beetroot won't grow because the weeds get all the nutrients from the soil, so we need to get them out. It's a labour of love, really. It takes a long time. You have to be very patient, and you have to make sure you get it all out. Here I am in front of my developing herb garden, and I'll introduce the plants, shall I? This one here is chives, part of the onion family, and all of this plant can be used. They have edible flowers, and here's a close-up of the flowers, and they develop into beautiful purple round globes, that amazing things. In front of me I have basil, very, very useful plant, all sorts of uses for the basil. Down the bottom there I've got marjoram, and that's growing back very nicely. Over here I've got spearmint, or is it peppermint? I can't quite remember. I was given that last year by one of my local allotment holders, and it's a great plant, except it does like to wander, so it really should be in a separate bucket or something like that, because its roots will go everywhere. I've already had to cut it back from the other side of the wood, and it's been developing that way. I must keep an eye on that. I don't want it going all over the place. Now, you can't see it, but I've also got tarragon growing, another useful herb. So yes, so I've got one missing. I could do with something else here, and I think I'm going to buy some mint, but I think I'll have mint inside some sort of bucket with sealed bottom, so that it doesn't spread, a bit like the spearmint or peppermint here. Mint is very useful, of course, fresh, chopped up in vinegar on a Sunday, on your Sunday dinner. How marvellous is that? So that is a little introduction to my ever developing herb garden. Well, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire allotment adventures, and as you can see, it's a beautiful sunset here and a very clear sky as we go into the evening, which could mean a little bit of frost still lingering on the ground. Well, thank you ever so much for all your pictures, but before I go tonight, I'd like to leave you. We went earlier on a little walk into our local woods where the bluebells are in full display, so here's a couple of shots to end the show. We'll see you again very shortly. Ta-ra for now.